Stevie Nicol joining me, and a very happy Stevie Nicol, might I say, as his former team Liverpool have the edge in the Merseyside derby, beating rivals Everton 3-1. Got the massive edge then.
Today.
Battered
them for years.
Solid performance.
Yes, and it didn't have to be spectacular. Quite honestly, I thought Everton were pretty poor. They were forced into making changes because of injuries. So having to move to a 3-5-2 system, basically, it messed them up because they never got in this game. Other than when they pulled the goal back, gave them a little bit of hope. But I thought Everton were poor. Liverpool, competent, deserved to win. Were decent going forward. Nice to see Coutinho back in form. Mane scoring another great goal. So, all in all, I can't say I'm shocked. I expected Liverpool to win this game.
Well, exactly. That's what you were saying under your breath just before we started. Liverpool haven't lost at home to Everton since 1999. So what is it about Liverpool and these solid performances in these big games that we're possibly not seeing this season against the Bournemouths or the West Hams?
To be honest, I think you can only put it down to professionalism of the players. Clearly, when they're at it, they're good. But we've seen during this season and last season as well that when they're expected to play well against smaller known clubs or smaller sides that they should walk over, they can't produce it. That can only be professionalism.
All right, so big sigh of relief for Stevie Nicol, but still some other games to go, and those are the tricky ones, right?
Yep.
All right, well, Stevie has his fingers crossed for more on this. Paul Mariner is joining me, and even though he's an Arsenal man, he will understand this cry for Liverpool, because Arsenal constantly saying that they need a big name presence up front, and it seems to be the same case for Liverpool right now. Is that what they're missing, why we're seeing this lull?
It seems that's the fact. I thought Origi would do better than he has done. I thought, well, let me qualify that. I thought he would have progressed a little bit quicker than he has done. I still like him. I think he's still got a bright future. But as a fully paid up member of the number 9's union, you do need that focal point. It's all right saying that, well, we play a false 9. It's difficult for the players to get used to, but if you do have that focal 9, like if you look at the big teams in the Premiership, Costa, Harry Kane, Zlatan, players of this ilk, they are the focal point of that attack. Now, this may be part of Klopp's philosophy that he doesn't want that focal point. But if you look in history of the size that he had at Dortmund, you tend to think, well, he had Lewandowski and he had people that you could really say was a genuine 9. So I think they are in need of that focal point. When you think about the great days when Liverpool were absolutely flying with the top man Suarez playing in the 9, he took so much pressure off the likes of Daniel Sturridge. He made Daniel Sturridge such a tremendous player because he had to try and match up what Suarez was doing. So therefore he makes players around him better, and that's what you need. It just seems that they've just lost the way with the rotation of Coutinho, Lallana, Firmino and Mane, obviously losing Mane in the African nations, but it seems as though they do need that focal 9.
All right, well, Sadio Mane, the top scorer for Liverpool, with 11 goals there. Should Klopp possibly look to do something different and build a team around him then, or should he take a second look at maybe a Daniel Sturridge, even though we know what happens to him sometimes with the injuries?
Yeah, I have a feeling that Klopp and Sturridge is a broken relationship.
So that's out the door.
I could be wrong, but I just don't see that working. I think that he's either got to work in the summer with Origi and get him to play that role, because he's definitely got the pacing behind. He can hold it up. He's got the stature. Maybe he's got to try and steal Morata from Real Madrid in front of Conte at Chelsea's nose, or maybe Mandzukic. Maybe he can prize a top centre forward away from a team that he knows the likes of Morata and Mandzukic can come in and be a fantastic focal point. But as we've said, maybe that's not the way he wants to build the side, but it certainly looks as though they're just lacking that focal point through the middle and maybe some leadership.
All right, thanks so much to Paul Mariner. Always a pleasure to have him. For more on Liverpool, keep track of their saga right here.
It's been quite a fight between Ronald Koeman and Martin O'Neill over James McCarthy. This is what Koeman had to say in his press conference. McCarthy has a strong desire to play for his country, so when asked if he was fit to play, he said he felt he was fit and he was selected to start the game by the Ireland manager, who In my opinion, and in this instance, was not protecting the player. Clearly, James is not fit to play. He had trained only for 2 days in Ireland, and he broke down during the warm-up. Martin O'Neill hit back with his statement. Once again, the Everton manager, master tactician of the blame game, has struck out in his comments today, criticising both myself and James McCarthy. Perhaps a review of Everton's pre-season programme might provide some enlightenment. James had a magnificent tournament for the Republic of Ireland last summer during the Euro 2016, playing his last game in very late June. He then returned to Everton after a very short break, but only 11 days later he played his first of 3 games, all within an 8-day period against Real Betis, Manchester United and Espanyol, overloading. Koeman then tweeted this: James McCarthy began his pre-season 3.5 weeks after Ireland were knocked out of the Euros from the master tactician. I like this.
Was that 800 words?
Was that 800 words?
That could have been a piece.
I like it. I like it when two people have a fight.
It's not a fight.
What is it?
It's a little war of words. Look, international football is important for a lot of people, especially for the managers. If James McCarthy wasn't fit to play, then James McCarthy tells Martin O'Neill he's not fit to play. He's a big boy, he's an experienced player. So what do you want the Republic of Ireland manager to do? If the Republic of Ireland manager says to your player, are you fit to play? Do you want to play? If he says yes, he plays.
So you've got O'Neill in this fight?
Well, I don't know the whole scenario. All I'm saying is, if I turn up to play, if I turn up to play for Scotland, and I tell the manager I'm not fit to play, and he says I'm playing, I say I'm not.
Right.
It's quite simple for an experienced player.
So Koeman's having to go at the wrong person.
He's going at
He's going to go to McCarthy. McCarthy's not only told Martin O'Neill he's fit, but he's told his own manager he's fit. So how's it not McCarthy's fault? What are they supposed to do? Are you fit, James? Yes. No, you're not. Is that no, you're not? I mean, what is Martin O'Neill supposed to do when he turns up? Number one, he turns up. 2, Koeman, if he thinks he's not fit, can he not hold him back? If he's not fit, can he not get his doctor?
No, he can't do that, can he?
I think
He has to go to Ireland.
So then it's definitely McCarthy who's at fault then.
There's a disconnect between clubs and national teams, which we've seen time and time again, and especially in this circumstance, because McCarthy hadn't played for Everton for a couple of weeks, so you just wondered who the final call is. FIFA says it's with the country. But if McCarthy says he's fit, then yes. And to be fair, there are times where I have declared myself fit to play for Trinidad and Tobago when maybe I wasn't 100%. You always take that chance. But there's always going to be this head-to-head between club and country. And to have it play out in the media in this fashion, or social media as it may be, doesn't help either party.
But we've all done that.
Was he right to hit back, though?
We've all done that. I don't know. We've all done that. And if you go back to your club and you're injured, you say, look, I told him I was fit, I wanted to play, it was a big game. And this one, I think there was a friendly, I can't remember if this was the friendly or the qualifier, but if you go back and it was a big game.
Yeah, it was the Wales game.
Right, it was a Wales game. If you go back and it was a big game, you say, well, I wanted to play, I told him I was fit to play, I thought I was fit to play. There's nothing Martin O'Neill can do about that. He has to gauge it by the player. We're not talking about 17 and 18-year-old kids here. We're talking about people at the peak of their career playing in the Premier League. You've got to make a decision as a player.
Why is this on social media? I mean, call me old-fashioned, but if there was any problems between managers before, you picked the phone up and you had it out. You didn't start sending Twitter messages the whole world can see.
Alejandro Moreno joining me. We're talking Liverpool, and we have been talking for some time that Liverpool need to make marquee signings. They need some other big names. Well, a big name they've been tied with is James Rodriguez, and we know that he's possibly looking for a way out of Real Madrid. Do you see him fitting into life at Anfield?
James Rodriguez needs a way out of Real Madrid.
Oh, desperately.
Too talented of a player to be sitting on the bench. However, it doesn't seem like Liverpool is the right fit. Now, you look at Liverpool and their Jurgen Klopp, what do they like to do? They like to press all over the field. They like to defend. They like to get numbers forward. It's a very up and back sort of game. James Rodriguez, the drawback from him in Real Madrid has been, or the criticism has been, that at times he doesn't like to defend. So that he doesn't like to chase people around. So you're going to bring him into an environment where that is a requirement for you as a player, regardless of what position you play, press higher up the field, create that sort of atmosphere where you now create turnovers. I don't know that James Rodriguez fits into that now.
But could he see it as a second chance and probably needs to make that change then?
Well, maybe so. He's a player, and he's talented, and he can make Liverpool better. But he won't do it in terms of chasing people around and winning the ball. He will do it when he has the ball at his feet, and then he's able to find passes, he's able to combine, he's able to create for others, create for himself. Now, as a guy that is going to run all over the field and pressure people higher up the field, I just don't see it for Liverpool.
We know that Liverpool's midfield does need a bit of bolstering right there. Jordan Henderson yet to resume full training for Liverpool. We're hearing the news that Adam Lallana, of course, will be missing 4 weeks now through injury. So would this might, push Jurgen Klopp to just close his eye and make that James signing?
Well, you can close your eyes all you want to, but that's not going to make James Rodriguez chase people around the field, I'll tell you that. Jurgen Klopp bases his game on energy. And what we have seen in the second half of the season for Liverpool is that when they didn't have that energy, they struggled to get results. Jurgen Klopp seems to have one way to win games, and that is, yes, we're going to get on the front foot. Yes, we're going to pressure. Yes, we're going to have that energy and that commitment, that endeavor defensively, and then from there we're going to get forward. James doesn't really tick all those boxes. So he takes many other boxes, but not those when it comes to energy and endeavor and commitment.
All right, well, he may not be Jurgen Klopp's ideal player, but he does need a way out of Real Madrid, and he is still a pretty big name in the world of football. Time will tell if this one does indeed happen. Shaka Hissop is joining me. It's the business end of the Premier League season, so our writers at ESPNFC.com are predicting where the teams will finish. No surprise, they have Chelsea to win, followed by Spurs, Man City, and then Liverpool getting a Champions League spot, while Man United and Arsenal missed out. Shaka, do you agree?
I agree with 4 to the 6, which isn't bad. I have 4th and 5th swapping places. So Manchester United finished in top 4, Liverpool just missing out. And it's not because I think that Manchester United right now are a better team than Liverpool. Certainly pound for pound, I think Liverpool will do fare better than Manchester United. The issue is, for me, Liverpool still struggle with creativity, with penetration against everybody outside of the top 6. Manchester United right now have an injury list and a key suspension that you're not quite sure how they're going to cope with. But I think given their fixtures should be all right. Saying that, the big question is not really about Man U and how they fare. It is about Liverpool. And as good as they've been against the rest of the top 6, they've just failed to convince both ends of the park against everybody outside.
And that's exactly what they have left.
And that's the problem. How do they cope when teams sit deep? Can they get enough creativity, enough penetration when teams put numbers behind the ball? Are they good enough defensively to cope with other teams' counter-attacking threat, limited as it may be at times? And that's the issue for me. That will remain to be the issue. So as I say, right now, Manchester United 4 points sitting behind Liverpool, 2 games in hand. I think Manchester United make up the gap and just hold off the threat of Liverpool to finish top 4.
All right, thank you so much, Shaka Hissop. And with Arsenal finishing in 6, I don't think I'm going to get any arguments from you there.
Stevie picked Liverpool to win and Manchester United to draw. Do you still think Liverpool will finish behind Manchester United?
Unfortunately, I do.
So 6 points,
I think Man United still got...
Stevie,
correct me if I'm wrong, because you usually do at every opportunity that you can.
Wow.
The Man United not have...
They've got 2 games in hand.
2, yes.
Yeah.
So there you go, to answer your question.
There you are.
How did you put that question in?
Sorry?
Who sent that in?
I don't know this person.
They got all angry there. Yeah, how dare you send a question in football?
No, it was. There was a different reason to that.
Gab is here. Gab, if Arsenal fail to beat Manchester City, will that end their top 4 hopes?
No, I don't think so. I mean, not mathematically. And again, depends how they lose to City. But if it's close, you can get an alibi and live to fight another day. I don't think their season's over just yet, even if they do lose to City.
Gab looks tired, doesn't he? He's tired. You're rubbing your eyes. Everyone's tired.
Well,
right?
It's late in England, isn't it?
Well, it's not late here. What's wrong with your excuse?
Listening to you. There's a story just popped up. On that. Breaking news.
Yes.
Wenger's going to build for the next 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And plant the seeds for his successor.
Perfect.
So, what's that telling you?
Should have started a couple of years ago, wouldn't it? It was a couple of years
Should
in.
have started 10 years ago. But perfect.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Okay.
He's
Any other breaking news you've got? Like to deliver
Anyone breaking
from
news?
there?